Shabbat Shalom, Kol Halal, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, Bahashem Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles and other bishops of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us His truth. Shabbat Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect, Tabernacle of David, to the Aquat that are listening and learning, being a pillar of rest, the 144,000, the 1/3, the hopeful elect of Israel. I'm the brother Yahshua. I'm back with the WW3 Daily Update. Shabbat Shalom. And salutations to you as well. We're going to start Joel 3 and 14. Multitudes in the valley of decision. Okay. For the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. What is the valley of decision? Okay. Decision means judgment. Okay. Let me decide your judgment. Okay. I'm going to decide your fate in court. All right. Decision. Uproars in the valley of the judgments. Judgment day. Valley of destruction. The judgment day of the Lord. Decision valley. Okay. Jehoshaphat. What does Jehoshaphat mean? Jehoshaphat in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shaphat. Shaphat means judgment. The valley of Jehoshaphat, God's judgment. Where else do we find the valley of judgment? Where else? Okay. Well, right here. Let's go here. Right? Joel 3 and 2. I will gather the armies of the world into the valley of. There's judgment and there's the Most High's name. Yahweh Shaphat. You're going to gather who? The armies of the world. So they're on their way, are they not? Of course they are. Anyway, just setting it up. We're going to go right here to Clayton Morris. Redacted 21 minutes ago, hot off the presses. Egypt, high alert, as this is about to get much worse, and Putin knows it. All right. Take it away, Clay.
Something big is coming, bigger than what is happening in Israel and Gaza, bigger than the United States just announcing it's sending a massive second carrier group to Israel. No, we are being...
I want to read that. Salaki, bear with me. What did Tyler Durden say? It says the Pentagon has ordered a second carrier strike group to the eastern Mediterranean Sea, according to 2 U.S. officials, as Israel prepares to expand its Gaza operation. The first carrier strike group, led by the USS Gerald Ford, arrived off the coast of Israel earlier this week. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin announced on Saturday night that the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower, carrying 9 aircraft squadrons, 9 squadrons, as well as 2 guided missile destroyers and a guided missile cruiser, will soon join the USS Gerald R. Ford carrier group. It's not just the carrier, the aircraft carrier, it's the carrier group, okay, with all that firepower in the region to deter hostile actions against Israel or any efforts towards widening this war following Hamas's attack on Israel. That's so funny. Anyway, carry on.
Announcing it's sending a massive second carrier group to Israel. No, we are being played like pawns on a giant globalist chessboard right now. And if you watch our show for any length of time, you already know this. Of course, you're already informed about this. At the heart of it, though, are real human beings suffering unimaginable cruelty as these globalists try to consolidate power. It's really the unipolar versus multipolar world war that we have been predicting here on this channel. We'll get into that part of the story here in a moment. But first,
what he was referring to is the New World Order. You got people pushing for the New World Order. You got people that are like this. No, we don't like that version of the NWO. Let's fight about it.
I just returned from northern Egypt this weekend, where the eyes of the world are on the massive ground invasion of Gaza by the Israeli army. Now, according to sources this morning, the invasion has been delayed for a short time because of rain. There's too much cloud cover right now over northern Gaza at this moment, which is hindering what Israeli pilots would be able to do. So we're in this sort of holding pattern right now, a calm before the storm, if you will. In the meantime, Egypt is cautious about what this would mean for their country, as millions of Palestinians could try to pour across into northern Egypt. Egypt has deployed troops to this area in order to prevent chaos. The ex-foreign minister of Israel says here's what should happen. Egypt should set up a massive tent city and move Palestinians into the Sinai desert so they can live in a tent city, kind of like Burning Man in the desert.
The area, where were they to go?
Okay, I mean, this is thought out. It's not something that we tell them, go to the beaches, go drown yourselves, God forbid. Not at all. The idea is for them to live over to the open areas where we and the international community will prepare the infrastructure, tent cities with food and with water. You know what? Just like for the refugees of Syria.
That's one idea. The other idea is that the Palestinians, could, stay in their own homes, as long as we're spitballing ideas here. Back to Egypt. Egypt says the Western media are lying about their border. Egypt says their side of the border is open at the Rafah border crossing, but the Gaza side was destroyed on Tuesday by Israeli airstrikes. The attack on the border crossing was confirmed, in fact, by the Israeli press on Tuesday. This is not a conspiracy theory. And sources told me that the infrastructure on the Gaza side of this crossing was destroyed. So getting trucks and convoys through would be impossible. And we just got these images in a few moments ago. These are images you will not see on CNN. These are hundreds of trucks on the Egyptian side of the border filled with aid, medical supplies, food, and water, ready to cross. But they are not being allowed to cross. So why the lies by the...
Hold on now. It needs to be said that while this is going on, this is food, aid supplies, gasoline for generators, and everything that is being withheld. This is food being withheld. It's a siege. They've sealed off the city of Gaza, right? And they're starving them out. No food, no water, no electricity, no supplies coming in. And holding them, here's the supplies on the other side of the border. Nope, can't have it. To 2 million people in Gaza?
Ready to cross, but they are not being allowed to cross. So why the lies by the Western media?
There is no sign that the Egyptian side is open.
Egypt is refusing to provide a safe corridor for any Palestinian refugees looking to flee Gaza.
So first of all, secondly, if I may, Egypt is not refusing to provide safe passage.
And so still, unfortunately for the people there, no movement there.
Well, I have some ideas. Of course, the West would love nothing more than to blame Egypt for this, as Egypt has really pissed off the West. One of my commenters on a video yesterday said Egypt should join BRICS. Oh, but they already have filed to join BRICS, and they are aligning themselves with Russia and China. Just look at all the Western newspapers criticizing Egypt this morning. Reuters, which is a UK intelligence cutout, quote, Egypt moves to prevent exodus of Palestinians. What does that even mean? They're moving to prevent an exodus? Here's the New York Times, quote, as deaths soar in Gaza from Israeli strikes, Egypt offers aid, but no exit. The New York Times is awful, of course, but my favorite is the Washington Post. Quote, why Egypt isn't allowing Gaza refugees despite Israel evacuation order, end quote. So just look at the logic of this headline. So I'm just asking the obvious question, why is it Egypt's responsibility when Israel ordered the evacuation? Now, I'm no geography expert, but if Israel wants Palestinians to move out of the way, there's a pretty big border right here where they could come through. Israel could provide them with all the help they need, right? Why would you force them through a bombed out border crossing funnel into Egypt to live in a tent city? Journalist Mark Lamont.
That's
Are you
heavy.
still interested in the solar power?
The truth is heavy, boy. Heavy.
Journalist Mark Lamont Hill asked the same ex-Israeli foreign minister that very same question this weekend.
We want to open a humanitarian corridor so they can leave. But if Hamas,
So then who
if
can leave?
Hamas,
So then who can leave? Citizens? You're saying civilians can leave, but only through the Rafah border, correct?
at this point, yes.
So they can't go-
because whereas
You're a country. They can come into Israel.
But don't ask those types of questions. Instead, blame Egypt. It's all Egypt's fault. Okay, Egypt refused to send troops to help Israel, and they've moved further away from the United States and the West in recent months. Never mind that Egypt's economy is in ruins thanks to Western trade restrictions, that 2 million refugees would completely destabilize the country, and Egypt has gotten pretty darn cozy with Russia and Saudi Arabia. Joining BRICS means, of course, that control of the Suez Canal and the Red Sea will now belong to BRICS, not NATO, not the United States. The West would love nothing more than for Egypt to collapse in a pile of rubble under the weight of a refugee crisis. Side note, just walking around northern Egypt like I did in the shops, grocery stores, banks, you're going to hear a lot of Russian being spoken. The amount of Russian investment is about to skyrocket. Putin is sending billions to Egypt. Russia is moving a huge amount of manufacturing into Egypt. It's set to bring over 35,000 jobs to Egypt. Let's be honest, Bidenomics can't hold a candle to that kind of job creation.
Okay.
And Egypt is now the #1 investment destination for Arab nations and Eastern countries. I visited multiple construction sites that Saudi Arabia is working on. $500 billion investment projects in Egypt, building massive new marinas and hotels in northern Egypt, transforming.
Do you know what that means? Saudi Arabia is working with Egypt? It means all of these Arab countries are coming together. Now, who ain't going to come together with the Arabs? We'll go ahead and we'll end it right here. Who ain't going to come together with the Arabs? All right? Well, that's easy. All right? It ain't going to go down like that. I wonder what Tucker said. Let's see what Tucker said real quick. Where is he? There he is. See what Tucker said real quick.
And Tucker was right just a few weeks ago when he said this.
So they can't lose. They will do anything to win. So how do they do that? They're not going to do COVID again. I know everyone on the right's afraid they're going to do COVID and mask mandate. They're not going to do that. They can't do that. If they've already been exposed, that won't work. There's going to be, no, what are they going to do? They're going to go to war with Russia. That's what they're going to do. There will be a hot war between the United States and Russia in the next year. And
Really?
Yes, of course. They want it anyway.
Do you think we're headed for a new round of control and restrictions thanks to...
Let me end it right there. Okay. Basically, it says World War III, but what side of this war between the United States and Russia are the Arabs going to be on? Let's see. By simple deduction, if the Americans are in bed with the Israelis, what side are the Arabs going to take? This is Joel 3 and 9. Say to the nations far and wide, get ready for war. Call out your best warriors. Let all your fighting men advance for the attack. Here we are. Jump down to 11. Come quickly, all you nations everywhere, gather together in the valley. What valley? The valley of Yehoshaphat in the Middle East. Yeah, they're going to go to war. America is at war with Russia right now in Syria. Yeah? Yeah. Damn right. And with Tagarma. No, not Tagarma. What's the other one? Gomer. Gomer, right? Let's see. What do we got? Gomer. U.S. shoots down what? Turkish jet. How long ago? A week? 2 weeks? 10 days. U.S. shoots down Turkish drone. Is it a drone? 9 days. Pentagon called Turkish drone shot down in Syria. Okay. Wait a minute. Who's fighting in Syria? Apparently Turkey is. Turkey, NATO Turkey. Apparently U.S. is in Syria fighting against the Turks. Who are the Turks joined with? Let's quickly get a bearing on that. Ezekiel 38. Okay, so the land of Magog would be Russia. Gomer, right? With you, with who? With Russia. Okay. Persia, with them, right? Persia will accompany them. Who is them? Russia. So this is Iran. This is Turkey. Okay, and if I go here, like we did, I believe it was yesterday. Okay, what do we get? If we come down here, and we're dealing with 2nd Ezra 15 and 29, where the nations of the dragons of Saudi Arabia, just to get you to familiarize you with who this is, the Arabs shall come out with many chariots, right? Also, the Carmanians, which is Iran or the Persians, right? So who is siding with the Persians? The Arabs. Who is Iran siding with? Russia. Persia, Iran, will accompany them. Who is them? Russia. Okay? So if Persia is right here with them, if Turkey is with them, what does this mean? The many nations with you, all your company gathered around you. Who is that? That's them Arabs. That's them dragons. Right? Well, we're proving it right here. The dragons of Arabia and the Iranians are with the Arabs. Okay? So, where did we come from? Come quickly, all you nations everywhere, gather together in the valley. Okay? That's Joel 3 and 11. All right, so anyway, that's a quick little update. As we can see, this thing is heading where? To the valley of Yehoshaphat, so that they may be judged. With that, we hope that the elect were edified. You brothers and few sisters, with that, we can say Shabbat Shalom.